Now, it's not every day that we get to see Chinese manufacturers bring their flagship devices to the Western states, but when it came to CES 2014, it became clear to us that they're all coming. We saw offerings from Alcatel, from Huawei, and we are already big fans and friends of Oppo, as you've seen with their Find 5 and their N1. But one particular phone at the show floor really caught our eye, and we got our hands on it. So it's Josh Vergara from Android Authority. What's going on, everybody? And it's time to unbox and give our first impressions on the Meizu MX3. Well, as you know how I do, no scissors needed over here. Just gonna go ahead and cut through the plastic over here. You know how I do here. And slowly bring up the lid. Now, this should obviously come as a little surprise that we're seeing the instructions in Chinese language here. Obviously, I cannot read that, but essentially what they're saying is you can pop out the back cover, and it is from there that you can insert your SIM card. So we're going to do that a little bit later and have that ready for the full review. But here it is, a very nice, simplistic, and colorful packaging. We have a large flap right here that does house kind of a snapshot of what the phone can offer in English, thankfully. And from there, we have the phone right underneath. So let's go ahead and take this phone out, and there it is, the MX3 with the booklets right underneath. And here it is, a nice black slate look at the front with the little home button at the bottom here that will allow you to go back and forth. It's a nice white circle right over here that does look quite nice. And of course the back with the camera right centered and Meizu MX right here. Like I said at CES, this kind of looks like what an iPhone 3 would look like if Apple finally decided to adopt larger screens. And this is a 5-inch screen that we're seeing on the front. With 1080p resolution and a lot of power underneath. So the Flyme OS, as we found out at CES 2014, did have some unique features to it in the sense that Meizu kind of put their own type of navigation into it. It's not necessarily like a stock Android build made to look like Meizu's general feel. But, you know, as you can see here, we already have, as we were getting into the phone, the notification drop down does not come all the way down unless you have anything there. And we're kind of coming through right here, just the operating systems. So that's just sort of the quick setup here. And like I said, it does look nice. And as you saw there, down here, we have the soft keys made for all that you need. And if you want to take a look at the multitasking, you swipe from away from the home button and up to the screen, and that allows you to take a look at the different ones that you have. Of course, you can swipe up to get those out of the way and swipe back down. If you want to go back to the home, if you want to go back a screen, then you swipe up from the home button up to the screen, and that allows for you to go back to the previous screen, which in this case was just the home screen. If we go through here and just kind of take a look at a couple things, we have the menu button here on the right side that gives you the general menu. We can always go to, in the phone app here, that's one of the buttons, and then of course the back button, which brings us back. So after that, it's really just a matter of, you know, little swipes here and there that kind of give it a unique feel in terms of the operating system itself. But of course, this is Android underneath. As far as first impressions go, we really do have to give it to Meizu for creating a pretty attractive product. Our thoughts from CES 2014 still hold up here, as the simplistic look with the white on the back and the black slate look up front, like there, really do still hold up. It's only been a couple weeks, but we are super excited to have this phone in our hands because of how it looks. And the other reason why it is great, as you can see plainly right here, is because of that bezel. It's a very, very thin bezel on the right sides. There might be a little bit of real estate on the top and bottom, but it does not detract from the handling of this phone one bit. It's a very, very nice phone to have in the hand. And with this nice, very nice looking screen right here, the colors just look really nice. And it's a very, very good way of expressing the Flyme OS, which has a bit of a flatter look that really kind of exudes from this display. So overall, we are still excited. This home button down here with the LED LED around it is also a very nice touch and gives this phone a little bit of a different outlook in terms of navigation and looks in the Android space. So that is the Meizu MX3. This is the phone coming out of China that should be coming to the US a little bit later this year perhaps, but it has been selling like crazy over the last few months in Asia, so we wanted to get our hands on it because it really got our eye out at CES 2014. Keep it tuned to Android Authority for all of the best coverage, our unboxing, first impressions like this one, the upcoming review of the MX3, as you can already be excited for, just like we are, and of course for all of our other coverage. So make sure you stay tuned to this channel because we are your source for all things Android.